Syston Junction, and another relic stands tall. And as these freight trains and passenger trains come roaring by, I'm thinking now, I've one more location to go, but it's time for dinner, and I'm going to go and stop off somewhere. Been meaning to go for some time. Come and have a look. So I'm editing this other video, and so I've got over 800 subscribers now. Thank you very much. You know who you are, and I think I know who my 800th subscriber was, so I'll put that in the video, which I'm putting together right now. But yesterday I was out and about, and I went and seen a sunken boat down at Kegworth, and I just put this quick video together. So here it is. Bit of a change in the weather today, but never mind. I think it's time for a title sequence first. Welcome back everyone to a channel dedicated to the gentle life. I live on board with Levi and Diesel, my dogs, and not forgetting of course my beautiful wife. Living on board as we have now for almost 9 years on our 58-foot Heron, manufactured in Uddersfield in 2001. You know, for years now, just adjacent to this location, I always turn right, but today I turned left. Oh, and this is a little bit later in the video, but just look at this piece of history. Restored in 1953 for the Queen's coronation and the death of her father. And on the Wells chamber bears scripture: in summer's heat and winter's cold, one constant temperature I hold. When brooks and wells and rivers dry, I always yield a good supply. My neighbours say, I'm often told, I'm more than worth my weight in gold. Beeby, a village that goes back to the 10th century. All Saints Church with a sawn-off spire built of colourful orange ironstone in the 14th century. Wow. And a little bit further away from Beeby in Leicestershire, we're here in Kegworth, where there doesn't seem to be any dry rivers at the moment, and there are definitely no dry wells. Well, I've come back because I was on a night shift where it was a very different story, because Kegworth shallow flood lock was almost completely submerged, and on the other side of the lock, a distressed boat. But Nigel, I hear you ask, where's the flooding? Where's all the drama? Well, as is typical with me, I may have missed all the fun, but you know what? Sometimes the after party is better than the party itself. But hold on, wait a minute. This after party is sticky and gooey and muddy and sludgy and lots of other bits of E that I'd like to add to that, but it's a bit precarious. I'll go and take a look anyway. You can normally get round this corner, but not today. Wow, and it's still coming down quite fast. And the bridge above me was widened some years ago. There's a plaque to commemorate that. So, not to keep you in suspense any longer, and the reason we are down here, and not to confuse you, the roadworks were already booked in, and while the navigation remains closed, I'm surprised that the Trust haven't chained the gates to prevent usage. Well, anyway, whatever the reason, whether a boat is new, used or otherwise, it's awful to see a boat in this condition, to be like this. This was somebody's boat once, and for whatever reason my visit here is questioned, it's definitely justified. Just look at this. Isn't this shocking? All the other boats that are generally moored down here have been moved away, have been moved on for safety, and there aren't many boats moored up currently at Kegworth Marine, which I'll show you in just a few seconds. A futile gesture maybe, but I couldn't help myself but pick the rope up and just move it closer to the pylon. Well, as you can see, there's no flooding around locally. The ground is soddened, although it looks absolutely beautiful today, October the 7th, 2024. Over on the other side is the prestigious Kegworth Marine. As you can see, there aren't many boats there at the moment, currently moored there, been moved to a safer area. Seemed like the flood bank did its job, there's no debris up there. From here, it just looks like it always looks. Absolutely stunning. In its own grounds, it's quite remarkable. And in the distance, Ratcliffe-on-Soar Power Station, one of the last remaining coal-fired power stations there. And at Kegworth Marine, there seems to be some signs of business as usual. The paint shed is occupied, there's a boat outside, there are a couple of engineers knocking about, so again, it's usually a lot busier than this. It looks like people are venturing to bring their boats back up. They may have already been there, they may be leisure moorers. Do tend to get a lot of those up this way. Well, I think it's time to walk back up. The gates must have been open wide at the time of the flood. The floodgates, that is. And luckily, as far as I understand, nobody else has had any, or no one else has been affected. Just the boat there, the sunken boat, that's new. And it's hardly surprising that it's up for sale. If that's the case, I'm guessing that because of all the rainfall we've had, the continuous flooding in this section, people are selling up. They want to come to these chalets, these holiday homes, to enjoy themselves, not to be constantly flooded out with rain, as this section has been plagued with so often over the last few years. Although with that being said, 2021 and 22 weren't that bad, but it shouldn't be about hit and miss. It should be just go there without any complication. After all, look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous here. Okay then, so from Canal and River Trust's website, this incident occurred on September the 30th around midnight. It is ongoing. The towpath is open. Unfortunately, the navigation is closed. Now the description, well, from the Canal and River Trust website then, there is a narrowboat which has succumbed to floodwater and is sinking below Kegworth floodlock on the River Soar. It is on the approach mooring and is nearly fully submerged, as you can see. We are aware that there are also some items floating in the river and what appears to be some diesel fuel spilling from the boat into the river also. So from here, I'm going to venture on over to the other side of the road, take a look at the moorings down here. Boaters should not be travelling on the River Soar at this moment in time due to the current flood conditions. However, once we are out of flood, we ask boats to pass here with due care and attention. We will update the notice as soon as the water levels come down and we are able to attend the site. Now, although the levels do appear to be down, the current is moving quite fast, and that's just detrimental to navigation. So just check the CRT website for more information. And for those of you not familiar with the area, yes, East Midlands Airport is just over the way there. And how often do planes come over, I hear you ask? So often you won't even notice. This bridge, Kegworth Bridge, was widened in 1937 from 12 feet to 40 feet between parapets, the cost of the work being borne jointly by the counties of Nottingham and Leicester with the aid of a grant from the Ministry of Transport. Well, that's it, lunch break over, it's time to get back to work. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you did this with your favourite narrowboating channel, I am sure that they would appreciate it just as much as your favourite YouTube channel. And if you were to hit the like button, share this video, hit the bell for notifications of future videos as they land on my channel, it really helps the algorithm and in turn helps my channel to grow, which it is exponentially. And thank you very much to all of you for making that possible. I really do appreciate it. Well, that's it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you all again in the next one.